The story opens with a sky covered in dark, swirling clouds, thunder crashing again and again. Beneath that storm, we see a massive red-colored dungeon. It's revealed that this dungeon is called Death Gate, ranked S, and known as an ancient dungeon. This was the first dungeon to ever appear on the Asura planet, and today countless people had gathered inside it. It's said that many of humanity's strongest awakeners had lost their lives here. A man speaks in a deep, steady voice. Today I, Su Ming, have cleared the most dangerous dungeon in the world completely on my own. And I've sent that god-tier boss monster to its grave. Then he opens his eyes and adds, but now I have to fight my own people. Outside the dungeon, everyone waiting begins staring at him with creepy expressions. They call out, Su Ming, how long are you going to keep us waiting? Listen to us. There's no way you're getting out of here alive. Our offer is simple. Hand over the legendary artifact dropped by the boss monster, and we'll give you a painless death. A blonde-haired boy grips his sword and says, that's right, humanity's strongest swordsman, Godslayer. Today your fate will be written by our own hands. Another man steps forward. Surrender. You're a hero to humanity, and we promise we won't make you suffer. We'll give you a quick death. Suddenly someone attacks Su with a thunderstrike and shouts, tell us where you hid the divine artifact. If you hand it over quietly, we swear not even a scratch will appear on your body. Su Ming clenches his fists furious. So that's why you all came into the dungeon with me? Just to betray me? To steal the reward that I earned with my own strength? Do any of you monsters have even a shred of humanity left? Zhang Tang, even you're with them? A red-haired man walks forward, pulling a sword from his inventory with a confident look. Pointing the blade at Su, he says, yes, Su Ming, hand over the divine artifact. For the sake of our years of friendship, we might consider letting you live, but we will destroy your power. Su finally lifts his own sword and says, I blindly trusted all of you. Since our first year of college, I considered every one of you my brothers. If any of you were hurt, I felt the pain myself. But I never imagined I'd have to face the evil side of the people I trusted most. He raises his sword high, releasing an immense blast of power and shouts, you all want the divine artifact, don't you? Then come and take it from me. Taking a battle stance, he declares, the artifact is called the Ring of Tao Divine. You want it, but none of you are worthy of it. The overwhelming force rushing from his body terrifies everyone around him. They panic. That energy, it's definitely coming from the divine artifact. We need that artifact no matter what. Wait, he has something incredibly dangerous on him. We can't attack recklessly. We need to be careful with every step. Zhang Tang smirks. Relax, there's still one part of my plan left. Just then, Su hears a voice calling his name from above. A shadow slowly descends, and soon a beautiful girl appears. Su is stunned. Zhao Min, what are you doing here? She runs to him and hugs him. I heard people were plotting against you. I was scared, so I came to help. Su gives a small smile. Don't worry, I've already secured the Ring of Tao Divine. But there's one thing I don't understand. This dungeon is huge. How did these people find my exact location? Zhang Tang suddenly grins, and Zhao Min quietly says, that was me. At that moment, Su feels a sharp pain in his stomach. He looks down, blood is dripping from his hand. Zhao Min steps away, revealing a glowing spell active on her palm. Su stares at her in disbelief. Xiao Min, you're with them too? Why? Zhang Tang yells out, excited. Perfect! Our final plan is ready. It's time for the finishing strike. Move in! All the Awakeners charge forward. Zhang shouts, imprisonment formation! Activate! A magical circle forms around Su as Yao Min slowly walks away. Su realizes that whatever she injected into his body earlier was actually a formation seed. Chains shoot out from the circle and wrap around him. Still shocked by the betrayal, Su struggles to understand. This really is a curse mark. Zhao Min planned this from the start? How could she betray me? Zhang Tang laughs. This formation was custom-made for you. It seals every bit of power inside your body. You can't even stand properly now. Zhao Min smirks. Sorry, Su Ming, but the truth is, I was never on your side. Zhang set this whole plan up. I stayed with you only because you awakened a 9-star talent, and only you could obtain the artifact. We were just using you. Su falls to his knees, screaming. Damn you! Zhang commands. Everyone, finish him! All the Awakeners rush in. The mages fire mana blasts. But suddenly, the ground cracks open. A skeletal hand erupts from below. Su freezes, stunned, as he sees someone standing in front of him, a pink-haired girl who has just arrived. She summons a skeleton lich, which uses its mage powers to block all incoming attacks. Suddenly, a massive, dangerous explosion erupts on the battlefield. Su, shocked, shouts, "Jiao, what are you doing here?" She spins around toward him, looking extremely tense, and yells, "Su Ming, you can't give up like this. If scum like them get their hands on the divine artifact, imagine what will happen to this world. You have to pull yourself together." It's revealed that Ji Yao is a necromancer. Zhang screams, "So another one has come looking for death. Even if a god appeared today, he couldn't save Su Ming from us. We have too many masters on our side." Everyone charges forward to attack. Within seconds, Ji Yao's skeleton lich is blown apart. Shockwaves blast across the battlefield. Zhang rushes forward with his sword, shouting, "You have only two options. Join me or die in your sleep." A fighter jumps from above to strike, but Su yells, "Look up!" Ji Yao is about to look up when a sword suddenly appears beside her head. Zhang flickers behind her and slashes. Smirking, he says, "Sorry, my classmate Ji Yao. You chose the wrong side." Su's eyes widen in horror. He screams, "Ji Yao, no!" Ji Yao's body falls to the ground. Zhang walks towards Su and says, "You can barely breathe, yet you're still worried about someone else? Fine, I'll send you to her right now. Hand over the divine artifact. Who knows, maybe I'll change my mind and let you live." Su grabs the chains binding him and pulls with all his strength. The pain is unbearable. Dark energy-mixed blood drips from his mouth as he growls, "You monsters." God-tier technique, annihilation burst, activated. With that, he shatters every chain. Realizing the danger, Zhang immediately jumps back, but a devastating explosion erupts. Panic spreads through the crowd. This power, it's definitely a god-tier technique. From within the smoke, a hand slowly reaches out. Su appears, coughing, and whispers, "Yao, why did you come here?" He kneels beside her, checking her wounds. "I'm sorry. I never wanted to see you like this." Ji Yao weakly lifts her hand to his cheek and whispers, "Su Ming, even while I lived, I could never reach you. If we're going to die, can we at least stay together?" The smoke slowly fades. In the middle lies a sword, cracked from the battle. Su lifts Ji Yao into his arms and says, "From today on, I swear, if I ever get the chance to live again, I will show all of you the true meaning of hell. I'll give you a life so painful that even death will seem beautiful." Everyone stares at him, terrified. Zhang trembles. What is he planning? His eyes narrow as he realizes he's going to jump into the collapsing dungeon with the divine artifact. "Stop him. We need that artifact at any cost." Behind Su, the massive S-class dungeon continues to crumble. Without hesitation, Su leaps from the cliff toward the dungeon. While falling, he throws the divine artifact into the air and shouts, "You want this, right? Then come and take it from me." Everyone rushes to the cliff's edge, but none dare jump further. The artifact, shining like gold, covered with tiny embedded stones, glimmers as it falls. The scene shifts. Sometime later, a small glowing light appears. A voice says, "Am I dead?" The light grows brighter. Suddenly, Su sees his own hand, and colorful pieces of paper are falling from the sky. His eyes shoot open. In front of him stands a beautiful building. Someone tests a microphone and announces, "The results are in." In the 127th Awakening Ceremony of Xuanzong Academy, Wang Qing has awakened a life profession, an enchanter. The crowd murmurs, "Nice, but looks like it's another life profession. No warriors or combat classes today." Su realizes exactly where he is. He has gone back to the moment of his awakening ceremony, back to when he was 18. This is the same scene he lived once before. He recognizes the student who just awakened. Fatty Wang Qing, he awakened as a 3-star enchanter, last time too. He remembers everything. Next would be Li Songyang, who awakened as a 2-star warrior. Then Qin Yu, who failed. Then Song Li, a battle mage. The professor announces, Li Songyang has successfully awakened into a 2-star warrior combat class. Next, Qin Yu. Qin Yu fails again. Next, Song Li. Song Li awakens as a battle mage and flexes proudly. Su quietly smiles. So it's true. I've been reborn. But his smile fades as he remembers Zhang Tang's betrayal. Heaven gave me a second chance, so this time I'll rewrite everything, my way. Suddenly the crowd screams, "A hidden combat class! Look, Zhang Tang is awakening!" Zhang stands before the portal. His profession, Magic Hammer Warrior, an 8-star hidden combat class. Everyone cheers, the first hidden class of the day, and it's 8-star! A girl shouts, "Of course it is! He's from the Zhang family. His father is a war emperor, and his mother is a demon warrior. His bloodline is insane. Su stares at his old enemy with a cold, emotionless expression. Just then, a gentle hand touches his back. A familiar voice says, "There you are. I finally found you." Su turns around, shocked. It's Ji Yao. She smiles. "Su Ming, I've been looking for you everywhere." He stares at her face, overwhelmed, and says, "Congratulations in advance for your awakening." She blinks in confusion. "How do you know I'm going to awaken? I might not get anything good." But Su remembers the girl who died trying to save him in his past life. He answers softly, "You'll find out soon." Inside, he thinks, "It really feels good to see you again." The professor announces loudly, "Next, Ji Yao, please come to the stage for your test." Ji Yao steps up to the portal. "Place your hand inside," the professor says. She reaches out, and suddenly blue energy bursts out, swirling around with incredible force. The students scream, "Another hidden combat profession!" Ji Yao has awakened as a necromancer, a 7-star combat class. The entire hall is shocked. Su smiles calmly and thinks, "Just as I expected." Next, it was my turn. And right then, the announcement came. "Next student, Su Ming, please come to the stage." As the two of them crossed paths, Ji Yao wished our hero good luck. In the back, people were whispering, "Students have awakened hidden class abilities back to back. Will he also make his name into that list?" Another guy replied, "No, I doubt it. He's just an orphan boy, remember?" Then we're told about this Asura world, which is ruled by the awakened. And the nation our hero belongs to is called the Dragon Nation. Many years ago, when the Day of Awakening first arrived, people began standing before a special dungeon at the age of 18 to awaken their class. Awakeners can even change the world's laws and rules, and they can obtain powerful weapons and equipment, living their entire lives in luxury and comfort. But that's just one side of it. On the other side, those people must constantly fight dangerous monster beasts where only two options exist: survive or become prey. And if luck supports you, maybe you'll return alive. Our hero stood before the stone, thinking to himself, "Because I was an orphan, the government always supported me with scholarships and help. In my previous life, I was blessed with the ultimate skill, the legendary Godslayer class, with a 9-star inner attribute. And today, the same day has come again, the same time, the same person. But I'm different. Let's show everyone a new miracle." The sky suddenly formed a massive phenomenon. A gigantic mountain appeared above them. The professor, shocked, said, "We're actually getting a legendary level 9-star attribute, or maybe even higher." Seeing the enormous mountain-shaped phenomenon, all the students were stunned. People were screaming, "Don't tell me he's the third person in a row to awaken a hidden class. This is insane." But Su was completely calm, because he knew what he was going to get. He whispered to himself, "Come out, give me that power. I want to feel my strength once again." Suddenly, he saw something that shocked him, the ring of the legendary class. He wondered, did this really follow me from my past life? As he stared at the ring, a system suddenly opened in front of him. Ultimate God Slayer class system is binding to you. This system will grant you a brand new class, Mythic class, Sword God. The hero thought, Mythic class, Sword God? This is completely different from last time. The mountain phenomenon in the sky disappeared, and the clouds twisted into a strange tornado shape. Inside the dungeon before him, a sword-shaped figure appeared. He stood still, calmly watching the portal as intense energy burst around him. The professor was panicking. "I can't understand what class he's trying to activate that can create a phenomenon of this scale." The entire audience was stunned. "If this really is a hidden combat class, that's incredible," someone said. "But if it turns out to be a life profession, then none of this means anything." Another student replied, "That's impossible. Are you crazy? Phenomena like this never appear for a lifestyle class." Zhang, who had been watching the sky, looked terrified. "Who is this guy? The energy coming from him is so intense I can't even move my body." Our hero stood calmly, activating his system, but inside he was troubled. "This is Sword God, but last time I had the Godslayer class. Is the past changing?" The golden system showed a fingerprint panel. After he pressed it, his identification was completed, and the logo of the mythic Sword God class appeared. Its first talent was called Universal Essence. Through it, anything he used would upgrade or evolve, becoming far superior. The hero stared at the system, surprised. This looks even better than my previous life's 9-star class." A smile spread across his face. "Is this really happening?" He opened his class panel, only to be stunned he had no skills and hadn't awakened a single ability yet. Shocked, he shouted, "What? I haven't activated any ability? What does this even mean?" He smacked the system window around in frustration. Outside, the massive phenomenon had finally stopped. In the audience, people were getting restless. What's wrong with him? Why is he taking so long? Even the professor looked up and asked, "Student Su, is your awakening complete?" Meanwhile, Su Ming was panicking inside. Ignoring everyone's questions, he thought, if I don't have any skill at all, then what's the point of awakening? Is this system joking with me? Right then, a notification appeared. User feedback received, guiding the user. But before that, he had to complete his identification. The system prompted him to place a ring inside it. Shocked, the hero pulled out the golden ring he had and inserted it into the system. Another notification came. System has detected Ring Dao. Identification complete. Suddenly, a tremendous burst of golden energy exploded from the system. A massive pillar of light shot into the sky. The professor stared in disbelief. What is happening here? This energy fluctuation is insanely strong. Did he complete his awakening? High in the sky, the number 10 appeared, glowing brightly like a constellation. The professor gasped. He really awakened the rarest 10-star attribute. And it's another hidden class, Swordmaster. All the students panicked. This guy is totally monstrous. 10 stars aren't a joke. Looks like he's going to be this year's top scorer. Someone behind Zhang said, I thought Zhang Tang, with his 8-star Demon Hammer Warrior ability, would take the top rank this year. But this guy broke everyone's expectations. Hearing all this, Zhang grew more and more uncomfortable. Meanwhile, the professor smiled proudly. Without a doubt, the student of the year will be Su Ming. His picture will be used for the school's entire promotional campaign. This year, not only have multiple students awakened hidden classes, but someone has also awakened the heaven-chosen 10-star inner attribute. He added, even though Swordmaster is considered one of the weakest among all types of swordsmanship classes, with a 10-star inner attribute, I'm certain Su Ming's future is completely limitless. Su Ming didn't talk to anyone. He quietly stepped off the stage and headed to the back. The professor then announced, as the principal of this school, I declare that in honor of this achievement, we will provide Su Ming with full cultivation resources and every possible support. Suddenly, whispers spread through the crowd. But he awakened Sword Controller. That 10-star talent will be wasted. Swordsmanship requires both close-range and long-range combat training. They have to train physically and magically at the same time. That's why they have to work twice as hard as normal awakeners just to level up. Su looked at them with cold eyes and thought, so in all of your eyes, Swordmaster has no worth? Fine. At that moment, Ji Yao walked over and called his name, congratulating him on his awakening. Worried, she said, don't let the people around you make you feel bad. With a 10-star talent, you'll definitely achieve great milestones in the future. It just needs time. Su thanked her, smiling lightly. What they say doesn't affect me at all. In fact, hearing them makes me happier. This is exactly what I wanted for them to think like this. Ji Yao was stunned by his attitude. Suddenly, Su's expression stiffened as he heard, next student, Zhao Min, please come to the stage. Excitement rose among the students. Look, she's coming. She's so beautiful and gorgeous. They pointed to the red-haired Xiao Min, the same girl who betrayed our hero in the future. Elegant and confident, she walked toward the stage. Zhang smiled at her, encouraging her. Don't worry, you can do it. Ji Yao chuckled softly. Look at this. Everyone here is a huge fan of Xiao Min. You have to admit, she really is beautiful. But Su ignored everything and walked away. Ji Yao called from behind. Su Ming, the ceremony isn't over yet. You're not going to watch Xiao Min's awakening? Su answered, I'm not interested, and thought to himself, this girl became stronger using my talent in my previous life. I helped her in every way I could, and in the end she betrayed me without hesitation. She even played the biggest role in my death. I swear, I'll take my revenge. Meanwhile, Xiao Min climbed the stairs as students cheered loudly. She turned with a smile before stepping onto the stage. The scene shifted back to Su. He walked through the city streets thinking, this city, these roads, this place, nothing has changed. Everything is exactly like my previous life, except for my awakening system. A skill appeared, total concealment. Through it, he could disguise the level of his skills, equipment, and even the name of his class, making them look stronger or weaker. Using this skill, the hero changed his Sword God class title to Swordmaster to avoid attention. He thought, when I put the ring into the system during awakening, I received 4 skills from my past life's Godslayer class. And I also received a new class Sword God. His system profile appeared. Strength, constitution, agility, spirit, and luck were all around 10. His level was 1, experience 0. His talent was universal essencer, allowing him to upgrade anything. His class was sword god. His 4 inherited skills were God Slayer's Blade, Total Concealment, Shadow Step, and Eye of Insight. Their details would be revealed over time. He thought, I'm carrying something extremely valuable right now, and I'm not strong enough yet to keep it safe. I have to conceal all my skills so that no one discovers anything. But hiding a 10-star talent is nearly impossible. Still, I'll only reveal my sword master ability, not my real class. A new life with new power, he murmured, stopping in place. In my past life, on the second day after awakening, we were taken into the novice dungeon. Right now, that won't be hard for me. But to level up fast and get good weapons and equipment, I must challenge that powerful boss. He looked up at a tall building and thought, but before all that, I need a good weapon. The scene shifts to another huge hotel where Zhang and Xiaomin were kissing. Xiaomin gave him a seductive look and said, Seriously, Zhang, you're such a bad boy. The awakening ceremony just ended this morning, and here you are, already trying to romance me. Zhang looked annoyed. Don't even talk about that awakening ceremony. That Su Ming totally stole all my thunder. The girl licked her lips and said, Don't be angry. He's just a sword master. The only good thing about him is that he awakened with a 10-star attribute. We need to bring him over to our side. He could bring us a lot of profit in the future. Zhang laughed. Okay, but how exactly are you planning to do that? Xiaomin lifted her phone and said, Take a look at this. Su Ming has been messaging me. Zhang looked at the messages, shocked. Xiaomin gave him a villainous smile. I think if I throw the right bait at him, this little fish will get caught in my net. And once he's trapped, we can easily use him however we want in the future. The scene shifts again, showing a tall building like a cheap copy of the Burj Khalifa. Inside the elevator, the doors opened on the 12th floor, and Sue walked out, thinking, All right, I'm here. A receptionist on the side said, This is the weapons shopping area. You'll find every type and every level of weapon here. The hero walked inside. The place was packed with people, all excited. Sue thought, Looks like all the awakening ceremonies in the nearby schools are already done, and all the newly awakened people have come here to choose weapons for their dungeon raid. As Sue casually walked forward, he heard a boy behind him complaining, Dad, I really like this sword. His father sighed. But right now, we can't afford such an expensive weapon. As Sue walked, he glanced to the side. A crowd had gathered around a weapon. Everyone looked excited. This is a diamond-class sword, someone said. With just one strike, it can freeze a monster's blood. Someone else said, but it's way too expensive. Another person added, Exactly. 1 million Advent coins is no joke. Sue smiled and walked away thinking, These store owners always display these fake weapons. I remember very well from my previous life. They'll get exposed soon. While he was thinking that, someone suddenly shouted his name from behind. Hey, are you Su Ming? He turned and saw a short-haired woman with 2 bodyguards. When Sue nodded, the woman pulled out a business card and introduced herself. My name is Zhang Landan, Vice Director of the Jiangnan Group. Please take my business card. Sue looked at the card and said, surprised, Do I know you? Should I know you? The woman became excited. You're Su Ming, don't worry. Anything you buy in this store today, Jiangnan Group will pay for it. You don't have to think about the cost, but in return, I hope you can do us a favor. Sue frowned. And how exactly am I supposed to help you? She signaled her bodyguard to show a picture. The guard pulled out a phone and showed Sue a photo of a young girl. Zhang said, This is my younger sister, Zhang Yuncheng. She also studies at your school, and she successfully completed her awakening today. I investigated everything. I know you awakened a 10-star level talent. I also know you'll handle tomorrow's dungeon easily. So I want you to team up with my sister and protect her during the entire trial. Sue went completely silent. Then he turned around and started walking away. I'm not interested. Behind him, Zhang yelled, I said anything you touch in this store, any weapon, any equipment, you can take it. Are you really going to refuse when someone is offering gold to a poor boy like you? Sue stopped. Then he slowly raised his hand and pointed at something. I want that. It was the same diamond-class weapon worth around 80 million. The woman looked frustrated. Are you trying to rob me? Why are you making this deal so difficult? Do you really think someone of your status deserves something that expensive? Sue smiled. Didn't you just say I can choose anything I want from this shop? If you can't give it to me, then the deal ends here. He turned away with a smirk. And remember, not everything can be bought with money. Tell your sister to clear the dungeon trial using her own strength. The 2 bodyguards tried stepping forward, but Jiang stopped them. Su Ming, you're quite interesting. I'll remember you. Everyone, let's go. They left, and right then, Su received a message on his phone. It was from Xiao Min. The message said, Su Ming, I know you've always liked me. If you want, we can meet up. Who knows, maybe our hearts might connect. If you're willing, meet me tonight on the academy rooftop. Su thought, just like my previous life. This is exactly the same message she sent back then. Even though I awakened as a sword master this time, and that's all everyone knows, she's still trying to bait me, he replied. All right, I'll meet you on the rooftop tonight. Then Su walked to a receptionist and asked, Hey, are these all sword stones? The ones used to sometimes forge high-quality swords? The receptionist looked uneasy. Yes, they are. They can produce a silver-grade weapon, but I should warn you the chances are extremely rare. Honestly, it's more like gambling. Do you still want one? Su said, Yeah, no problem. To choose a silver-level weapon, people usually invest millions. These stones cost around 5,000 won. For something this cheap, a little risk is worth it. The hero thought, People see this as a gamble, but for me it's not. And his second skill, Inside Eye, appeared. With it, he could see inside objects and find their true form. He picked up one stone and happily said, This is the one I need. I'm going to get something very good for a very cheap price. He walked into an empty room, but then two boys entered behind him. One of them said, Hey, look, it's the guy who just offended the Jiangnan group. And what's he holding? Those are useless sword stones. They always give low-quality junk. The blonde guy laughed and said, Man, I really thought this kid came from some tough background, but he turned out to be the leader of the poor. Kid, you were getting good things so easily, yet you still messed it up. People are right when they say some folks are just born unlucky. They throw away their opportunities just like that. Su relaxed and thought to himself, This blonde guy is actually Yang Ding. I remember him very well from my previous life. He comes from a filthy rich family and is famous for bullying poor girls with money. Why do all these clowns always end up in front of me? Then he said loudly, Hey, both of you listen carefully. Do you want to play a bet with me? If a silver rank weapon comes out of this stone, you'll give me 5,000. But if a useless sword comes out and I lose, I'll pay you 5,000. Both boys were a little shocked, and the next moment they laughed loudly. Are you crazy? I bet you there's a 99.99% chance this stone will produce trash. Can you really pay that much, or will you give it in installments? Su smiled and said, We'll see that later. First tell me, do you accept this bet? And remember, you can't back out later. People nearby heard them, and a large crowd gathered around Su. Some supported him, while others backed the blonde guy. Su opened his system and activated his inside eye, letting him clearly see the sword inside the stone. He struck the stone with a strong blow. All right then, come out, my sword. The stone cracked and everyone froze in shock. No way! This is one of the rarest swords. Su lifted it. Everyone thought he was unbelievably lucky. Su's system panel showed that the sword was a black iron crimson sword, a low-grade silver rank weapon. Its special effect, Tension Drinker, could absorb a monster's or enemy's life force and heal the user. Su happily held the sword and then said with an intense look, Perfect. This sword is just right for tonight's date. The blonde guy looked miserable. He had suffered a heavy loss. Su admired the sword. With this ability, I won't even need a healer. The system displayed its effect level as 10%. Su pointed the sword's tip at the blonde guy and said, So, you lost the bet. Now tell me, will you transfer the money directly or pay in installments? The boy sent the money and glared at the hero. I'll remember you. Su walked away with a smile. That's what happens when you make random bets with strangers. Next time, be more careful. The receptionist nearby was also shocked. Seriously, after so many years, someone finally pulled a silver rank weapon out of these stones. Su walked forward and said to her, I need a matching scabbard for this. I think one costs around 5,000, so give me one. The crowd started leaving, and the receptionist hurried towards Su. Moments later, he got the scabbard. Its special feature was that it prevented the sword from losing sharpness and reduced durability loss by 50%. Looking at his new set, Su thought, Great, with this scabbard, I won't have to worry about the blade losing its edge. Today's shopping ends here. Just then a notification appeared. Do you want to level up this weapon? It was one of his hidden skills. Su laughed. Not yet. If I level it up here, who knows how much aura it might release. It'll attract too many eyes. Better upgrade it outside. The scene shifted to a park where some boys were playing volleyball. Su activated his system panel, held his sword, and walked slowly thinking, Even after gaining this short burst of power, I still don't have any good combat skills. but I've got to admit, this hidden leveling skill is magical. Let's try it. He held the sword in one hand and applied the upgrade with the other. A notification appeared. You have activated Universal Ascension. Another message followed. Your weapon has been successfully upgraded. Now the sword released an even deeper red aura. The new skill was revealed. Bloodthirst. After killing any monster, the user would gain a boost of 5 stat points in all skills for 30 seconds. Sue smiled. Gaining 5 stat points after every kill is no joke. This hidden skill really deserves to be called God level. Tomorrow's dungeon raid is going to be easy for me. The scene shifted to nighttime. A tall building appeared. The hero summoned his sword as he arrived and slowly walked upward. On the rooftop, Xiao Min was standing alone. The door opened and Xiao Min gave him a seductive look. So you finally came, but you're a little late, you know. Suddenly her eyes narrowed. A sword was flying toward her. She screamed in fear and stepped back. Su Ming, what are you doing? If I hadn't jumped aside, that sword could have hit me. Su had actually thrown the sword in front of her. Now he stood there holding only the scabbard. The girl shouted angrily, Su Ming, answer me! The hero gave her a cold look. I'm here for revenge. The scene cut back to his first vow the moment he swore he would turn all their lives into hell. The girl screamed, Revenge? What revenge? You're the one who confessed to me first. The messages he once sent her appeared on screen, the text where he told her he liked her and asked if they could meet. Xiao Min said, Because of your confession, I approached you, and now you want to hurt me? Su smiled softly and said, That was the story of my previous life. He thought, You were the most popular and most beautiful girl in school. As an orphan, I never got attention from anyone, and I never imagined we'd ever talk. The day after the ceremony, when I was sitting in class, you walked in and asked about me. You were the first person to ever show me kindness. From that moment, I felt you were more than a classmate, more than a partner. You felt closer than anyone I'd ever had. Everything I searched for my entire life, I found it in you. I opened myself to you. I was willing to give my life for you. Those sweet moments, those laughs, those intimate times, I built my whole life around you, and you betrayed me without regret, without shame. Then he screamed, You lied to me. I know everything about you and Zhang Tang's little conspiracy. You wanted to use me. Xiao Min's eyes filled with fear. Nervous and stuttering, she said, What nonsense are you talking about? You must be misunderstanding something. Su replied in a cold voice, Whether I'm telling the truth or lying, you know that better than anyone. Behind that beautiful face and that innocent mask, there's a mischievous girl hiding. Xiao Min gritted her teeth and screamed, How do you even know all this? You're just an orphan. If you didn't have that talent and ability, you wouldn't even be worthy of talking to me. And you dare call me mischievous? Neither I nor Zhang Tang will spare you. I'll even file a police report saying you tried to do something to me. Su gave a cold smile and said in a calm, serious voice, Let's see how you explain all of that in public. Just imagine what people will think when they find out their sweet and pure beauty goddess has been having an affair with Zhang. The girl became furious. She charged forward and grabbed Su's sword, jumping at him to attack. Su laughed and said, Exactly like my previous life. I already knew this would happen. But suddenly, Xiao Min froze. The sword was absorbing her life force. Su spoke coldly. I knew from the beginning you were the type who likes to attack from behind. The moment I came up here, I made you my target. That's why the sword is now draining your blood force. A red energy burst out of the blade, hitting her face and draining even more of her life force. Xiao Min screamed and threw the sword away. My face! You ruined my face! Su picked up the sword slowly and said, What did I do? I didn't attack you. You're simply paying for your own actions. And this is only the beginning of my revenge. He raised the sword as the girl screamed, Stop! I'll go straight to Zhang and tell him everything. He won't spare you. Su remembered her betrayal. In his heart, he thought, So it was all lies, and now I'm completely sure. You were never mine. He stored the sword back into his system and walked away. Go ahead. Tell your Zhang Tang I'm always ready for him. And remember this, that scar on your face, that's because of me. Walking away, Su said, With this final strike, whatever affection I had left for you, it's completely gone. Suddenly, his system showed a notification. You have been sent a gift. When he opened the gift box on his phone, he found strengthening pills, a combat suit, and 10,000 Advent coins. A final message appeared. I hope you use these well, Su Ming. Perform your best in tomorrow's dungeon raid. It was all sent by Principal Wang. The scene shifted to the next day, early morning at 6 o'clock. Su stood under the first ray of sunlight holding a pill. He immediately put it into his mouth and thought, "This is the marrow pill the principal sent. It's extremely valuable. I guess he's feeling a little guilty and wants to compensate me for activating a 10-star swordmaster." He chewed the pill. Ugh, it's really bitter. Instantly, a notification popped up. His constitution and agility increased by 10 points each. Along with that, he gained 100 experience points and broke through to level 2. Su was shocked. His level immediately rose and he was now officially level 2. His updated profile appeared, along with a new talent, innate sword body. With it, he could now learn any sword skill easily without obstacles. Su smiled. Just like I thought, after awakening as a 10-star golden grade, I'll be able to learn any sword skill without trouble. This is amazing. He looked up at the sky and thought, in today's dungeon raid, everyone will finally see my full abilities, and no one will ever underestimate me again. The scene shifted to the novice dungeon area of Jianzhong Academy. In the middle of a forest stood a small park that looked beautiful from afar. Students were slowly gathering around it. As Su walked forward, people screamed from behind, "Su Ming, will you team up with us? With your 10-star potential, no matter which profession you awakened, this dungeon will be like butter for you. Please let us join your team." Su thinks, just yesterday, these people underestimated my profession so much, and today I have to watch this scene. He says, "I'm sorry, but I already have a team." Right then, Ji Yao comes running from the side and shouts, "What did you say, Su Ming? You already formed a team? I came here so early, rushing just to team up with you, and you already made a team?" Su looks around and quietly tells her, "Actually, the truth is, I want to challenge this dungeon alone. I also have my own plans, and I can't involve you in them. It could cause you a lot of trouble. That's why I'm going in alone." Ji Yao was trying to understand his words when suddenly a blue-haired boy approaches them. Laughing, he says, "My name is Yan Zi. I'm from Class 4, and I awakened the 9-star Demon Hunting Ranger ability. If you don't mind, would you like to join our team?" Su thinks, "I've heard that name before." Just like me, he awakened at the 9-star level. Before Su could answer, Ji Yao steps forward and says, "Su Ming already teamed up with me, so please find someone else." The boy nods and leaves. Su thinks, "Ji Yao, you really are someone trustworthy." At that moment, he notices the time, almost 7 a.m. Su knows very well that a dungeon is about to open inside the park. Suddenly, a blue portal forms in the air at the center of the park. An announcement echoes, "All students, the challenge for the 127th Novice Dungeon begins now." Everyone turns toward the portal. A floating hologram of their teacher appears in the sky. Smiling, he says, "Students, forgive me. I couldn't wake up on time early in the morning, so we're meeting like this. This challenge is mandatory for all newcomers. You can't avoid it. We'll be tracking your information. Your rewards will depend on the monsters you hunt. And remember, your life is the most important thing. To ensure your survival rate, it's best if you form a team and enter the dungeon together. This challenge will last the entire day. So are you all ready?" Everyone answers, "Yes." Ji Yao looks around in confusion and says, "Where did Su go?" The teacher continues, "Then without wasting more time, this exam officially begins now." Suddenly a rumbling sound comes from the dungeon. Students gasp, "Someone just entered the dungeon." More students say, "I noticed it too. That was a 10-star Su Ming." They see Su traveling through the portal. A smile appears on his face. "I remember this feeling clearly from last time. Back then, I was excited, but this time, I'm in the mood to destroy everything." The other side of the portal glows brightly as a voice announces, "Teleportation to Blue Star will be completed shortly. This place is full of danger and opportunity. You can collect treasures and rewards from many areas. Defeat monsters and bosses to collect contribution points. There is also a higher-level hidden difficulty boss." Su moves forward quickly. "My goal is to challenge and defeat that ultimate hidden boss. I'm coming for you." The scene shifts to a nighttime forest called the Reaching Tide Forest, a level A danger zone. Su spots a tree monster with fire burning on top of its head, terrifying in appearance. He thinks, this is an elite monster. It can't walk normally, but its branches can stretch far. If it targets someone, it grabs them and drops them into that burning cauldron on its head. But my goal right now is the hidden boss. There's no point wasting time with an elite monster. I need to find the hidden boss as fast as possible. This place feels unfamiliar now, but the hidden boss's hunting patterns should be the same as last time. Before the hunt, I'll need a few items first. He jumps onto the trees and moves forward quickly. The scene shifts to 7:30. A girl enters through the portal. She and her team of 3 look around. One boy says, "There's no other challenger nearby." Another says, this place is really quiet. Looks like there are no monsters around. Let's move forward. Suddenly, they hear someone yelling for help. Smoke rises behind him as a challenger runs forward holding an axe. Please help me! A monster is chasing me! Everyone gets nervous. They shout, those are monster rats! The rats were the size of elephants. All three boys panic and start running. One of them shouts, we can't run together like this. Split up. We need to distract them. At 7:31, an announcement echoes outside the dungeon. 3 challengers have been killed by the monster rats. One of them was a 6-star talent awakener. Everyone outside is shocked. A 6-star awakener died within 1 minute, even after forming a team? We need to form teams fast. We need to help others inside the dungeon. Ji Yao anxiously thinks, I have to join a team quickly. Inside the dungeon, only the girl from that group survived. She runs through the forest, panting heavily. I got separated from my team. I didn't pay attention to the path. I'm lost in this dungeon. Before she can think further, she notices something to her side. From the top of the tree, a monster-like face was staring down at her. Then it becomes clear. It was a monkey-type monster. As soon as it spotted the girl, it let out a loud roar. Its eyes glowed with a red light, and it immediately leaped down to attack her. The girl froze in fear right where she stood. Only one word came out of her mouth. Please, someone help me. Suddenly, a sword wrapped in a burning red aura flashes forward. Multiple strikes land on the monster instantly. And then we see, this was Sue, who arrived at the last moment and saved her life. The girl, still shaken, watches Sue's sudden entry in shock. Then the story jumps back a little to show what happened just before. A white-haired boy was shown hopeless and terrified. Standing in front of him was a brown-furred bear, an elite-level, Stage 5 monster. Within seconds, the boy became its prey. He screamed desperately, but no one arrived to save him. A blue-haired guy cried, while running away instead of helping. Trembling, he said, this is just the beginning. Why have elite-level monsters already appeared here? How unlucky can I be? All around the dungeon, monsters were overwhelming new awakeners. Someone was struggling against a powerful level 2 goblin. Someone else was being killed by a level 3 beast. A frightened man screamed into his communication device. The entire south side of the dungeon is surrounded by monster swarms. We need backup. In another area, a girl shouted, we need backup deeper inside the dungeon too. There are so many elite monsters here. A dragon-eyed lizard, a level 3 elite monster, was chasing her. Chaos was everywhere. In another direction, a purple-haired girl was shown in shock. She said, in the central area, 4 people in my team of 5 are gone. Her 4 teammates were lying lifeless in front of her. She fell to her knees and whispered, if they hadn't told me to hide inside that hut, I'd be dead too. Was this really what the principal called a beginner-level dungeon? How can that be? Is anyone even strong enough to fight monsters like these? The scene shifts back to our hero. The girl he saved was still trembling. Multiple slashes land on the monster again, and Sue lands on the ground as the creature gets thrown back. The girl watches in awe and whispers, this guy, he's so strong. He defeated such a powerful monster in just one breath. Is that even possible? Is he really the 10-star awakener, Su Ming? She ends up shouting the question out loud. Sue smiles lightly and says, I was just passing by and you happened to be in my line of sight. But listen, I might not be able to save you again. You probably don't know this, but that monster isn't dead yet. The girl's eyes widen. She immediately starts running and shouts, Classmate Sue, please hold it back. I'll go find reinforcements. The girl runs off, but Sue focuses on the monster. He activates one of his abilities, Eye of Insight. Through it, he sees the creature's true form, the mutated Ape King, a level 3 elite beast. Sue thinks, so that's why it survived all my deadly slashes, even with my sword's special skill. The monster stands up again and leaps forward aggressively to attack Sue. He dodges it at close range and thinks, your speed is impressive, but I also have a skill, one that I carried over from my previous life. Looks like it's time to try it out. He whispers, third skill, Hidden God Step, activated. This skill instantly boosts his speed by 50% and makes him immune to all physical attacks. Sue takes a stance. The moment the monster reaches out to grab him, he disappears from right in front of it with a blue streak of light and appears behind it. He taunts, hey, try looking behind you. The monster swings wildly, trying to hit him, but Sue dodges again with ease. When Sue stands in front of it, the beast charges forward to attack. Sue says, the real monster in this place is me. You should be afraid of me. The creature watches him step closer. Then in the very next moment, Su cuts it cleanly into pieces. A notification appears announcing that he has successfully defeated the mutated Ape King. He opens his system panel and sees the reward. A single slash skill scroll, low-grade bronze level. Su thinks it's low level, but it'll still be useful in this dungeon. Then he is shocked as another notification pops up. The Swordmaster has been awarded a new title, First Blood, for killing the very first monster in the forest dungeon. This notification appears in every student's system, so everyone learns about it. Along with the announcement, every challenger receives a healing potion, but Su's name is kept hidden. Somewhere else, a girl being chased by a monster hides behind a hut, pulls out the healing potion, and says, "I really needed this." Everyone becomes curious and starts guessing who earned that achievement. Most of them suspected Su Ming, since he was the one who awakened the Swordmaster class. Meanwhile, Su becomes frustrated and thinks, "I forgot that the dungeon system connects all of us. They're tracking everything. What if they expose my real strength?" I didn't expect that even after an hour into the mission, not a single group managed to kill a monster. I'll need to use my concealment technique and rename my class so no one suspects me. The scene shifts ahead. Su is shown running through the forest. Suddenly, he hears something rustling in the bushes. When he stops and looks, he sees multiple level 3 direwolves drooling as they stare at him. Su smiles and says, "Now this is more like it. Time to test the new skill." He upgrades the skill using his god skill, raising it from bronze to low silver grade. Suddenly, one of the wolves notices our hero, and Su unleashes a powerful slash toward them, a blue aura shooting forward at high speed. Moments later, we see Su begin a total massacre of the wolf monsters. Each wolf he kills gives him 80 experience points. In just a short moment, he wipes out 10 starving wolves, earning a total of 800 experience points. And those numbers keep climbing until he reaches 100 kills, giving him a grand total of 8,000 experience points. When the clock hits 9:30, Su glances at the notification and says, "So I finally made it to level 9. Along with it, he receives a new title, Legend of Starving Wolves. He smiles as he looks around. The entire area is covered with wolf corpses. The hero thinks, this new dash and slash skill is insanely efficient for taking out monsters from medium range. The scene shows his fighting style. After every attack, he slips his blade back into his pocket, locks onto a target, focuses for a brief second, and then draws his blade in a flash. A blue shockwave launches forward, slicing through the air toward the wolf monsters. But this time, something steps forward and blocks the attack. Su is stunned. A massive wolf king has appeared, deflecting his strike and glaring at him with bright red, furious eyes. It's revealed that this wolf king is a level 10 monster. The scene shifts to a few hours earlier, at 8:30. Everyone has completed their team formations and entered the dungeon. With their full force gathered, they begin overwhelming the monsters. One boy charges forward with his sword and slashes down a giant rat monster that had badly injured a red-haired boy. With the monster defeated, everyone in the group gains experience, and a notification pops up. They've killed a mutated field mouse. The group cheers loudly, celebrating the fact that they've taken down a special monster together. They break through to level 2, and one of them even cries out of happiness. But then a white-haired boy says in shock, "Look at this, someone just killed a boss monster." The announcement reveals that a level 9 fisherman has defeated the fisherman leader of the Beast King. He's even been granted a new title, Leader of Leaders. Everyone is stunned. Where did a level 9 fisherman come from? How can a lifestyle class be this strong? And he's already level 9? Is this some kind of joke? The story jumps back to 10 minutes before the announcement, where Su is fighting the Wolf King in another part of the dungeon. Su slashes the Wolf King from behind, dropping its health below 50%. Then, jumping high into the air, he slams a powerful strike straight toward the monster's head. Landing to the side, he releases his pressure and leaps again, shouting, "You think you're some big king? You have no idea who you're dealing with." The Wolf King coughs blood, struggling to stand. Su grins with a devilish look and says, "You should feel honored. Your opponent isn't an ordinary human. He's a reincarnator." With one final ultimate strike, he kills the Wolf King. A notification appears. He's earned 500 experience points, reached level 10, improved his draw short slash technique and thunderous sword art, and obtained iron cutting claw bone and the Wolf King's heart. Elsewhere, we see Young Ding, the same boy who once gambled with Su over that blade and lost his money. Excited, he kills a monster and proudly says, "Look at this. We've already wiped out the entire wolf pack here." His friend reminds him that they should thank the mysterious level 9 fisherman who got the attack boost scroll as a reward. Thanks to him, our damage power shot up. Yang throws his sword in frustration and says, "Is this dungeon bugged or something? How can a lifestyle class reach level 9 this fast? And he even killed a boss monster? This is ridiculous." He fumes. "If I hadn't lost my money that day, I would have bought a silver-grade weapon too. All because of that Su Ming." His bald friend tries to calm him down, but Yang snaps, "Whose side are you on? We barely reached level 2 after killing all these monsters. How is this fair? If that guy is in this dungeon, the moment I see him, I'll kill him and take his blade. That will give me some peace." His bald friend tries to reassure him, saying that now that they've reached level 2, fighting the wolves will be easier. The scene switches back to Su Ming. He's hiding in the bushes, checking his system. He had renamed his class from Swordmaster to Fisherman, which is why everyone kept seeing notifications about a fisherman, not a swordsman. A new notification appears. Reaching level 10 has triggered the beginner class change quest. Once he completes it, he can awaken a stronger class. Su remembers that in the previous timeline, he reached level 10 much later, inside a dangerous E-rank dungeon, far beyond his capabilities. He had to grind all the way to level 15 before he could complete the quest. "The earlier I finish this class mission, the stronger my awakened class will be. Last time I took way too long." He checks the quest. He must defeat a powerful elite monster inside a redstone cave located within this same dungeon. Su smiles. "Perfect. Looks like I'll get to change my class today." He immediately dumps all his ability points into agility. A system notification appears. "Congratulations! Your speed has broken the 100-point barrier. You have unlocked a new skill, Sword Martial Master, a platinum-grade, low-tier passive skill. With it, he can now wield any kind of sword without meeting any requirements." And with that notification, the story is officially updated once again. To continue the story, make sure to hype the video and subscribe to Manhwa Buddy, because we're your buddy.